Happy Monday, everyone. It's Kimberly Beer here with Make It Happen Monday. One thing you can do this week to better build your business. And today I want to talk to you about 6 places that you can find blogging inspiration. If you're writing a weekly blog, it can be a little bit tiresome after a while around finding really good content to write, especially for SEO related searches. Now, if you didn't already know, most people who come to your website to an interior page, like a blog post, because those are the places that you're most likely to answer questions that would be Googled or searched on a search engine. So the introduction to your business and where consumers can find you as a solution to their problem is often on those interior blog pages. So it's important that we pick topics that are going to be good for SEO as well as marketing for our business. So I have 6 places that you can find this type of blogging inspiration. It's not the only type of blogging inspiration out there. You can write, of course, other things that aren't necessarily geared towards getting found in search engines. But I know for a lot of people, this is a top priority, and these are 6 places you can find some really good stuff. Let's dig in. So my absolute no holds barred favorite place for my clients to find blog post topics that are going to help them with their SEO and also help serve their customer base, because that is a twofold equation that I don't want to get separated. I want all of my blogging to be things that are things that my clients and customers and potential customers can find useful, but that Google can also use to help route the right traffic to my website. So this is an absolute perfect place for you to do this. Now, what you do to do this is just simply enter a Google search query related to your business. In this case, I entered the query equine therapist. I know I have a lot of people in the equine therapy industry who follow me, so I was hoping they could appreciate that we took a look directly at their industry. And I do think this provides a really good example no matter what industry you're in. In this case, both the how do I become, so an interest in the career field itself, as well as consumer facing things showed up in the list. Now, this list is an ever expanding list. The more things that you click on in the list and take a look at, those little down carrots over there to the right, those are going to show what is related to whatever that question is. It shows a short snippet answer, and then it will show a link usually to more in-depth information. But depending upon what of those carrots that you click on, is going to depend on what else shows up in the list. So it keeps expanding and keeps expanding and keeps expanding. So you can take a very, very, what we would call short tail keyword research topic, which are usually pretty easy to come up with for most business owners, and then expand on that for quite a while. And actually, I think you could probably come up with a good 6 months to a year's worth of content just off of this one suggestion alone. So what I did to get this particular list is the first entry there. It says, what does an equine assisted therapist do? Because when I Googled it, it came up with equal amounts of client facing and also industry facing, like how do I become an equine therapist? And I just clicked on the first one and it expanded 10 more articles that were more appropriate to the customer facing, which if you're an equine therapist or equine coach, you are gonna want the client facing type of blogs. So this is the list that I came up with. And all of these are outstanding topics for you to address in your blog. No, you do not have to answer it exactly the way that it is. If you can say where it says, what does an equine assisted therapist do? Then what I would say is that you could do a topic around Your blog post topic might be something like what we do at blah, blah, blah. So it's going to give you a lot of jumping off places, and probably you could take each one of these topics and expand it into something more. So it's also kind of like a Russian nesting doll of topic ideas. And I really do love this particular one, and it's geared toward SEO because it's showing the most popular asks, so it will help you with your SEO. So it's a good idea to come in here, answer the questions that are appropriate for your business. All right, let's scoot on. Related searches. So if you take that same search page and you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page, then you'll come up with related searches. Now, this was a little bit, for this particular Google search, was a little bit less fulfilling than the other search. So I got a lot of near me's and programs and certification stuff like that. That is fine. I may want to address that on my blog because that's a lot of what people are looking for. So I might want to write a blog post that has the words equine assisted therapy and my location in it, if this is a search that I want to rank for. So again, this is all about learning what people out there are searching for, and then responding accordingly on your site so that you can rank inside of those searches, or at least get up there for some of those searches. You may not be on the first page, you may not be top of the page, but you are answering questions, and you're answering questions that are good or addressing topics that your customers are interested in or potential customers are interested in, because these are things that these things do not show up on Google lightly. So sometimes there is a bit of a bias depending upon what you've searched for. So you may have to do a few searches more from a client perspective to kind of get that algorithm to feed you the right amount of inspiration. All right, let's skip off of Google and talk about other things. So to me, your customers, your consumers, your friends, your family, all of those people have a lot of questions generally about whatever it is that you do. Your customers and your consumers are going to have the best and most appropriate questions for your business, but I've found really good related blog topics and inspiration from friends that have asked questions, because your friends, a lot of times they're not in the same industry maybe, or they maybe have some really newbie kind of questions about what it is that you do and your business and who you serve and how you serve them. So again, these are great things to answer on a blog. So focus on the customer and consumer ones first, and in general, these are going to be things that you've answered over and over and over again. Just by answering them in a blog or on your website, however, please do not get angry at your customers for asking them again, because I guarantee you that they will. You're just going to have to keep responding to them verbally as well as the website. I have clients routinely that will read the frequently asked questions part of something that I've put out into the world, and I know they've read it, and then they come and ask me the same question during a conversation. Just smile and answer it, and the more you answer it, the better you get at answering it. But they do make good blog topics, because in general, there are really not a lot of unique one-off questions. Almost every question that you're going to get, more than one person is going to have it. It's just that person spoke up and asked for it. All right, next place is competitor websites. Now, I am by no means telling you to go to your competitor's website and write the exact same blog topic, but here is the thing. Your competitors are also in your same industry. They're working with the same customers, but they may have a slightly different view. So when you go to their website and see what they're blogging about, see what they're talking about, you could take that general concept that they put out into the world and create your own blog from it. So create your own original material, yes, but you can look at this place. You can look at competitor websites for inspiration, for topics that you could blog about, for things that you maybe need to address that they've already addressed. So it's a good place for you to do that. And again, it's SEO related. Most of the time, people are choosing their blog posts based upon consumer response. Searches are all about serving consumers because that is what Google wants, because consumers are searchers. All right, next spot is industry websites. So these are places where you go, like maybe trade organizations or membership organizations or organizations that serve your entire industry, no matter what that industry is. Again, the conversations that are had here, they're not something that you maybe want to duplicate exactly, but they're going to give you good inspiration for what you can put on your blog. Now, I guess I should caveat in this spot, and I should have done it way back at the beginning. Blogs can be any format. I'm talking about podcasts that are audio or YouTube shows that are video. Like this one is just repetitive. I don't want to use the word repetitive. Nobody wants repetitive. It's serialized content. It's episodic content. So you have to keep generating it time after time after time. But industry websites are a great place for you to find fodder for your serialized content that you put out into the world. And we're going to call it blogging for today. The final place that I want to talk about in the 6 places that you can find good blogging inspiration is on customer social media. So make it a practice, those customers that you want to work with over and over and over again, that you follow them on social media and that you check in with their news feeds every once in a while so that you can see what they're talking about. I made a rule long ago that my Facebook social media presences, they're not personal. They're about my business. I eat, sleep, breathe, and live being an entrepreneur. And my business is a lot of my life. And I do have a personal life outside of the business, but it's not something I want to necessarily interact with on Facebook. So I keep even my Facebook friends. Maybe I get a little personal every once in a while. But the mass majority of the people that I know, that of the friend, they're not close friends. They're people that are acquaintances through my entrepreneurship activities, through my business, which means my personal newsfeed is pretty businessy. And I have friends. I don't go out of my way a lot of times to friend customers, but they'll often send me a friend request, and I'm happy for that because it lets me have a peek into the struggles that they have behind the scenes in their businesses, which means I can create really good blog content from that based upon what I see. So I'm doing what I said all along in every single other place with this. I am catering to those customers right where they are. And this is a great way, being friends with or following or so we call it socially shadowing, not socially stalking, but really getting to know your customers through their social media feeds. Follow them on Instagram. That's an easy one. If you want to go ahead and take that step and kind of make your personal Facebook feed not necessarily business. It's not where we want to do business, but to include your customers, you certainly can do that as well. And you'll have a lot more insight into the day-to-day of their lives. And that again helps you create really good, meaningful, high value blogs that also serve a purpose of getting people to your website through SEO. All right, that's it for today, and I wish you happy blogging inspiration. This week's episode of the Business Animal Podcast is all about why you should still be blogging in 2021, and I'm sure it will be relevant whether you're listening to this in the future or whether you're listening to it this week. You can catch The Business Animal on our website at thebusinessanimal.com, or you can find it under The Business Animal anywhere on your favorite podcast player or anywhere you consume audio content. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Monday.